Welcome back, Breakaway Wealth. I'm your host, Jim Oliver, and with me today, Andrew Lucas. Welcome, Andrew.
Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate you having me here. I'm excited to hang out with you for a little bit.
Yeah, me too. When we teach people about infinite banking and we kind of show it on a ledger and we show you people putting all this money in this insurance contract and then they go buy cash flowing assets, they say to me, well, Jim, where do I find the cash flowing assets? How do I decide what I want to invest in? What do I do with the money? Right. Which, if you read The Richest Man in Babylon, he says, invest in what you know. Then what I would do is I would combine that with Dan Sullivan, who, not how. So,
Yeah.
like finding the deal, what to do with the money that you have in your infinite banking system is so important. So, Andrew, tell everybody a little bit about you and Deal Finders Club.
Sure, I appreciate it. And yes, very much intertwined here. Very good synergies of what you're showing people how to do and what we show people how to do. So I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. I've been here all my life and grew up, went to college, went to high school, college, just like everyone else. Got into a 9-to-5, which really wasn't 9-to-5. It was hospitality, so it was really like 9 to 9. We were always on, right? And so I was doing hospitality, managing hotels. And when I first got into real estate, it was straight out of college. I had that entrepreneurial bug. I knew wanted to do something. Me and my buddies in college were always trying to figure out something to either add on or go work for ourselves, right? Do that entrepreneurial thing. And finally, it ended up being real estate because I didn't want to live at home with mom and dad anymore. So it was done with school. I was like, I can't live here. I thought landlords were the richest people in the world. Quickly found out, no, they're not actually most of them aren't making any money with these properties because they don't know how to run it as a business. So bought a house. This is 2007. So it was really easy to buy the house. Fast forward until 2015. I'm now married, have 2 kids, 1 on the way, and 4 rental houses that we got. Really just they weren't bought right. We didn't really know how to buy for cash flow today. We were thinking, well, you know exactly what I was thinking. Retirement. I was thinking long term, thinking 30 years away, tenant would pay for it. And so I wasn't able to run numbers to make cash flow. And my wife and I were, she was 8 months pregnant. We were painting a house because we couldn't really afford to pay someone else to come do it.
Yeah.
And it's oil-based paint. And we're like having to open windows so we can breathe. And we looked at each other and said, this sucks. Real estate was not fun for us at the time. We were not getting freedom from it. We weren't getting financial nor time freedom. And our kids were under 3, 2 under 3, and they were at grandma and grandpa's for the weekend. So we said, we're either all in or we're all out. And at that point, my wife said, well, if you can do it and be at home on the weekends, be at home at night, you can find a way to do this, then we can go all in. And we did. And the goal was to retire her from her, day job when our oldest son was going to the public school, like kindergarten, don't have to pay for daycare type thing. So that's what we did. We set a goal of 2 years and 35 rental houses is what we did. 2 years and 30, we added 34 doors and she was able to retire. So that was all through learning how to get cash flow from real estate. And so That was 2018. We've both been full-time since then.
That's wonderful, man. I love to hear the stories where, to spend time with your family, you're set free by buying assets and stop exchanging time for money. And those stories are so cool because we don't know what the story is going to be, right? The story is going to be something different. Your kids' lives, your family's lives are going to be different because of those decisions and that initiative. And then for you to turn around and teach other people how to do some of that is really cool because, when you learn how to do something, you want to give back and teach people how to do it. But I love what you said, and I want you to talk about what I just said there. But you said you're in the real estate business, right? And our good friend Logan Rankin up in Wisconsin, Logan always says that he pounds that into people that he teaches into their heads is you're not a real estate investor, you're in the real estate business,
Mhm.
and you got to treat it like a business. And that's the only way to be wealthy really in this country, is to be in business for yourself. And I mean, that's not the only way, but it's the way that you can do it from scratch with very little,
Yeah.
and you can have a lot in the end, and freedom that we all want. So talk about, how did you find those deals back in the day?
Yeah. So I'm going to hit on that. What you
Yeah.
mentioned is real estate being the way, the only way. It's not the only way to wealth in America, obviously, but it is the way for more people to get to wealth. And I say that because with my first house, I got $300 back at closing because it was a first time home buyer credit and a county and a state program. Like it's set up for people to buy real estate.
Mhm.
And if you buy it thinking like, oh, this is going to be an investment, this is a business, you can actually get in very cheap. And then we started flipping houses so that we could buy those rentals. I was when we went kind of all in. Uh, that came from a loan from Michelle, my wife's 401k. So it was a $30,000 loan that we took. We started at zero. I mean, it was zero in the business. And so you can start there, right? You don't have to come in with, a big payday, a big cash, bank account ready to go. So that it is for most people. And we started teaching people because, when my wife said, yes, go ahead, let's try this real estate, let's try to go and build these rentals up. At the same time, as an entrepreneur and looking for making sure we had all of our options open, I also went and got my master's degree because I enjoyed teaching
Mm,
in the hospitality industry. So
yeah.
I would teach, I would go do like teach at different seminars and stuff like that. So teaching was going to be my next thing. If real estate didn't work out, I was going to go be a teacher. And so people started asking us when we went full time and this was working out, asking us to help. And so that's where the Deal Finders Club came from, which is really showing people where the opportunities are right in your own backyard, in your local community with the resources you have. So, not and this has been our message because I think of social media, YouTube, Twitter, you name it, where it almost makes people feel like everyone else has an opportunity, but I don't look at them. They've got, they look so pretty. They can get these deals. You know, I'm in so and so town and there's no deals around me.
Yeah.
It's just a complete lie to yourself that these cash flowing assets, discount real estate properties are all over this country if you'll just open your eyes and your ears and your mouth and look for them. And that's where the Deal Finders Club really came out of, is just helping people get out of their own way so that they can get started down this path. Yeah.
So how does Deal Finders work?
So the club really is, we started with a local community, just where when I was still working at the hotel, building this business on the side, I met a guy here locally who was doing the business, and we started having lunch once a month, and then we brought other people in and having pizza, and that guy helped coach me, teach me how to flip houses for revenue. So basically, build a flipping business
Yeah.
so that revenue could then be put into buying the cash flowing rental houses, and so that connection catapulted, and I honestly think that yes, eventually we would have got where we were trying to get to. I think my wife and I are bullheaded enough to just keep doing it, but having that coach, having the experience and someone to show us just allowed us to get there so much faster and skip so many of the mistakes that we did make the first 7 or 8 years. Um, and so that's where Deal Fighters Club got bred, is local community coming together. We have local events still, but now uh, the message, the game plan, the opportunities are nationwide. So we have a Facebook group and we have groups that we teach and coach and facilitate people doing deals all over, using the same methods, the same basic strategies of open your eyes, open your ears, and know what you're looking for. Tell people what you're looking for, and be ready to receive that opportunity because they're right around you.
I love that, by the way, because it's funny. Nelson Nash, who wrote "Becoming Your Own Banker: Unleashing the Infinite Banking Concept," he would always say, um, "Is opportunities find cash, right?"
Yep.
But I also like to say opportunities find open minds, because like if your eyes aren't open and your mind's not open, stuff's not going to flow to you, right? And I'll give you an example. This young guy brought me uh, a business that's for sale down here in Florida, and people would say, "Well, the real estate market down in Florida, you don't want to buy in Florida." And it's funny because, like, okay, if you're at the beach, then I might agree with you. But if I go 20 miles, or not even 20 miles, if I go 10 miles that way,
Yeah.
great market. Right.
Right.
So, and I'm not looking to be I'm not looking for $25,000 a week rental. Right. I mean, I'm not looking to be right on the beach and have that. It's not my business model. I want to be over there, and I already got the property management company. I got this, I got that. I'm just looking for something that meets this criteria. So, um, I love that you said that. And if you're going to learn anything, finding a mentor. And so having a deal finders club and working with you and your team, I mean, that's how you learn how to do it. Is somebody taught you, you learned how to do it. Now you're teaching other people how to do it. And now all you have to do, if you is find that person you match with. So what I tell everybody that listens to the show is, check Andrew out and find out, is Andrew the guy you should be working with? He doesn't want to work with you if you don't want to work with him, or if it's not a good fit anyway. So
Nope.
it's kind of a mutual exploration process of, hey, is this good? Let's just see. And same way with your mentor. If you would have gone to lunch with him and you guys just didn't hit it off, it really wasn't a good match, then you would have stopped and you would have found another one.
Yeah.
Right. And so I love that. So what do you see, like, right now? I mean, I don't know how many times people say this to me. Oh, you can't really buy real estate right now. I laugh at that because you could always say that.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you say to people that say, well, Andrew, you got in 2018, now it's different. What do you say to them?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And we say it, we get that all the time, and you probably do too. It's now's not the best time. You should wait.
Yeah.
Okay, you can wait. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and we'll just wait and see who ends up with the deal. And it's easy now for me to come with a rebuttal to that, is because if you were in real estate or around real estate in 2019, it was on fire and all over the news, the internet. Everybody was saying, we're at 2019. This is the bubble's never been bigger. This is huge. It's going to pop. We're going down like a sinking ship. This can't go any higher. And of course, COVID hit. Of course, that threw everything for a tailspin and wasn't sure what was happening. But since then, we've gone up even further. It just continues to shoot up. And if you were saying 2019, well, I'm going to wait, or even 2018 or 17, I'll wait. This is too hot. This is too hot. You can never catch up. Those years are gone. There's no chance of you ever making up what happened for the last 4 years. So I just have to tell people that the discount, what we're looking for when we say a deal, it's a discount property. So it's a property that's selling for less than the actual, market value, retail value, highest value, right? And why do people sell at a discount? Many reasons. Just like if every store has a sale at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, whatever it is, people have the same issues and things. So convenience, we get discounts for convenience, speed, just pure. They don't want to look at it anymore. They're tired of it. Many reasons that you can get a discount. And so if you buy it right, two ways being it's a discount. So if it's worth 100 and you buy it for 80, then you've bought it right. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what part of the market you're in. If
Yep.
you're buying less than what it's worth, you're in. The other way is if it's going to cash flow. If you're looking for cash flowing assets, if it cash flows today, you can overpay for it and still be fine, right? You can pay
Mhm.
more than market value if you have a way of making it cash flow. So uh, those people that say that they've built up a wall, they've got a barrier, and it makes them feel comfortable to be able to say that just so they don't have to get into the game. And
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate.
It's I think it boils down sometimes, Andrew, to people. There are people that make excuses and there are people that make things happen. And
That's great.
there's always a reason to make excuses. Like if you're going to get in shape and you're going to start lifting weights or you're going to lose fat or whatever you're trying to do, it's like you get up in the morning, you go, man, you know what? I didn't sleep very good last night. I'm just going to go ahead and sleep in instead of working out. Like there's always a reason, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you get up, you just go to the gym, you just start in. Yep, I'm tired. Yep, I feel like crap. Yep, my back hurts. Yep, I pulled my hammy. Yep, but I guess I'm not working on hamstrings today. I'll just keep doing this, right? And you just
Yeah.
find a way around whatever obstacle life throws at you. If you don't have that attitude, it's really tough to break away from the rat race and the herd. And the people that stay in there their whole lives, they cling to this what they think is security, and it's not security at all. It's the opposite of security. So how do people find you, Andrew? And how would you suggest somebody that's sitting in the audience and they say, hey, I want to find out more about this and see if it's right for me? Like, what's the exploration process?
Yeah, so I'm on social media, but the best thing is our website or my phone number. So website's dealfindersclub.com, and you could go there. We have a lot of resources there for people just getting started or trying to get forms or contracts, whatever. We have a lot of stuff there that you can get into, as well as YouTube channels and links like that. My cell phone number, I'll give it to you. It's better to text it. If you call it, you better leave a message because I'm certainly not calling back numbers I don't know, but it's 803-216-5750. And the beautiful thing is today's technology is my text messages will pop up on my phone or on my computer. So I can just reply to that all day long, which is great. But yeah, we can connect there. Our Facebook page is Deal Finders Nation. That's a great place to get connected if you're just getting started or, looking for that community to help push you to the next level and sometimes hold you accountable when we need it like that. Like this morning, which of course you're saying I didn't get up, I didn't go work out, I didn't run. My quad was a little sore. I said, I should probably rest it today. So that was me. I sat in bed.
And you know what? Wednesday is like my day off on working out. And yesterday, when my alarm went off this morning at 4:45, what I do. This is what I have to do, Andrew, is I pay people to work out and I pay a trainer.
Yeah.
So when the alarm goes off, I go, well, there's X dollars out the window, or I'm going to work out. And 99 times out of 100, I just get up and go. And coffee's a wonderful thing at 4:45 in the morning. And and then the other thing that motivates me, I'm in Florida, so I'm 59 and I'm like a young guy down here, right? And I see these 80-year-olds and they can barely walk. And I'm like, then I see 88-year-olds that are playing tennis 6 days a week. And I go, oh, there's something there. Keep moving, right? And so, when you're a young guy like you, it's you can take a day off here and there. When you get to be my age, it gets a little bit more serious. Like, you say, how long am I going to be able to move and have fun and play golf and do all those things like I want it to?
Yeah.
So, all right, Andrew, what's the best advice along your path of breaking away from the 9 to 5 to where you are now, running your own business, running your real estate business, your coaching business, Deal Finders Club, all of that? What's the best advice anybody ever gave you?
You know, that's really tough to narrow down. I've had a lot of good mentors, coaches, people, paid and unpaid, um, and then of course, my wife is always there with some sage wisdom. But for me and right now in our business, we are in a growth mode of adding an arm to the business, and so this is one of those challenging times, and it is definitely cliche, but my first mentor, he said, and he came to my wife, and we sat down together, and he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And she was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "This is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. You have to buckle up, and you can't quit.
Yeah.
Once you go down this road, you can't quit." And she, she looked at me, and she's not a quitter. She's driving me. She was probably at the gym this morning while I wasn't, but you know, it's that it's that mentality of, this is going to be hard. This is not easy. Going against the grain and being different in our society as far as like how we earn a living, how we, manage our time and who we report to. Going and doing it on your own, and going and getting, an infinite banking system or real estate investments, it's different, and it can get lonely, and it's very, very hard. Having the drive and the resolve to say, we're in, we're not going to quit, it's just huge.
I love that. You remind me of a book that I just listened to. It's called Comfort Crisis. Have you read that?
I have not,
And
I can.
he talks about kind of what you're talking about is we've gotten addicted to comfort. I'm sitting in an air conditioned house. You're sitting in probably an air conditioned house or office. It's 92 degrees out in Florida. And if I didn't have this, I'd be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if you can be a little bit uncomfortable, then you're going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, it's a good book. It's one I would definitely recommend. And I love that advice because I think it's real. And I think it's not, sugarcoating, trying to sell me something like, hey, I got a system 1, 2, 3. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's like, there's nothing in life that's like that, by the way. It's like trying to lose weight. You can lose 30 pounds in 30 days. No, you can't. Not fat anyway, but it's that kind of stuff. 8-minute abs. No, I can do it in 6. That's from There's Something About Mary, I think. But anyway, all right. Last question, Andrew. If God came down from heaven and only allowed you to retain the knowledge that you've received from one book, what would that book be?
The first one that came to mind, and maybe it's a layup here, but it would be the Bible. We're going through the Bible in our church, so we're all reading it in the chronological order, and so it's, at least not most of us are, and there's so much there. The Gospels and the New Testament. So many people kind of get that. There's so much throughout the book, throughout the Bible, that is relevant to everything we do. Proverbs. If any person trying to start a business, trying to create a culture, look through Proverbs a few times, you'll find it. There's the answers, the wisdom, the instructions. So much of it is right there, and holds true.
Can't agree with you more. It's funny, Andrew, is I used to ask that question and I said, except for the Bible. And I had a couple of my close community members, and they said, why do you say that? I said, because I don't know, like, I think everybody's going to say that. And they said, well, just don't qualify anymore. Just see how many people do. And what's interesting is Nick Costco and I are writing a book right now.
Yeah.
And what we've identified is there's 12 key principles in every personal development book. If you took all the personal development books, all the like classic ones, and you boil it down, there's like 12 principles, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're all in the Bible. And so what we do is chapter by chapter, we take the principle, explain it, how it's worked in our lives, and then how what verses the Bible talks about that principle. And it's so much fun because every single one of them. The other thing that you look at is J.D. Rockefeller has a book called Letters to My Son. and it says 38 letters to from JD Rockefeller to my son John. There's 40 letters. I sometimes I don't give that away because I think, well, I'll ask somebody, hey, did you read that book? And they go, yeah. And I say, well, how many letters are? Well, there's 38, just like it says on the cover. No, there are 2 bonus ones at the end. But anyway, what he does is JD Rockefeller was a Christian man, and he was a big believer. And so he relates these messages back to the Bible too. And if you look at some of these letters, some of the books that came not too far after these letters are really based around these letters. I don't think they were released, but it's really interesting. And so I agree with you with Proverbs. I mean, we have this devotional group that we do on version. And so every morning we got like 20 guys that you read the devotional, and then you give your thoughts, right? And so we get a list, and the app pops up, like you said, on my computer, on my phone, so and so commented on their Bible thing. So I read 20 people's, I don't know if I read 20 of them a day, but I read most of the people, and we try to do it first thing because that's what you're supposed to do, pray and read the Bible first thing, right? Kind of like you're talking about with your church. And so I got to tell this last story, and then we'll wrap up. So one time, I said to Nelson Nash, I said, Nelson, I'm trying to read through the Bible from beginning to end, and I'm struggling with the Old Testament. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to read it. I mean, there's times or days where I'm just like, what did I just read? And he said, Jim, he's from Alabama. He said, Jim, you got to understand the problem before you can understand the solution. The Old Testament's the problem, and the New Testament's the solution. And I went, you are a wise man. So I had to get that in there. All right. We're going to put all of the contact information for the show notes. Yep. I love that you're doing this as a family. I love that you're freeing your family. I'm super impressed with what you guys are doing. I would encourage everybody to go check out Andrew's stuff. Check it out. It's either going to resonate with you or not.
Thanks for listening to the REI Deal Finders podcast. You can find out more and apply to be a part of the REI Deal Finder community at reidealfinders.club.